So one of the worst feelings ever is kind of feeling like you've been overpaying for something and you've been kind of scammed and you kind of believed in an idea, but in reality, it was just marketing. Like once you get scammed like that, you probably don't even want to talk about it. So in this video right here, we're going to talk about 10 things you're probably overspending money on and why you should actually stop doing it. Okay. So I fall for some of these things. I don't want to admit which ones per se, but I'll break it down in this video so we're all learning and we all know exactly how to save more money. So as always, guys, like this video, appreciate it a ton. If you're new here, subscribe and join the family. Now, number one, guys, is going to be premium gas. For the most part, most cars out there, you know, they have a manufacturer. That's like a fact. Someone made your car. They know more about your car than you do. So these people actually make a manual and they actually know exactly what type of gas your car needs. And for the most part, most cars aren't, for example, like luxury cars, like not really a Mazda, but more like, for example, like a Mercedes and Audi, where the engine pumps out a bunch of horsepower and needs, for example, premium gas. In reality, those cars actually do need it because in reality, the manufacturer says so. But for Toyotas and like Hondas and most Mazdas out there and like Kias and so on, they don't need premium gas. And if you don't believe me, check with your manufacturer. Like it literally tells you regular gas is more than fine. Now there's also, for example, in the US, there are regulations with your gas. So most gas out there have already all the additives basically needed to keep your engine and your car running smoothly. So it's kind of basically paying extra for something you don't need to pay extra for because it doesn't really fix your car, maintain your car, or keep your car running longer. Although marketing says so. But those marketing campaigns were basically made to squeeze more money out of your pocket. So there, you learned something. I had my mom, she had a 2014 Hyundai Santa Fe, put in premium gas in it for no reason. I had a friend, she has, for example, a Toyota 14 Vitz, is like a little car made by Toyota. Put in premium gas on this little car, like that makes less than 100 horsepower or whatever, just exaggerating, but for the most part, you don't need it, all right? So if you're spending money on premium gas when your car doesn't call for it, that's stupid, don't do it, and don't keep doing it just because you think so, because once you know the facts, you can't keep doing the same stupid stuff, all right? Now, number two is, you're probably overspending on food. Now, I don't have a hack for you, like, hey, go to the grocery store at 9 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 3 a.m., things are cheaper. I don't know about that stuff. I never tried it. All right. But for the most part, here's a baseline. The average person shouldn't be spending more than 200 to 250 bucks per month on food. Now, by the way, it's kind of crazy because people say, no, I need more. But in reality, you have a body. And this body needs energy. That is very true. But for the most part, you're able to buy everything you need to sustain your body for 200 to 250 if you're smart about it and you actually learn about recipes and how to meal prep at your house. Now, I'm not here to act like a saint, okay? I had to uninstall all of the delivery apps from my phone when the fees became more expensive than the food I'm actually buying. And I do eat out like once or twice a week, but that's only after 6 years of basically, you know, becoming financially free and so on, and really working hard on my money. But that's that. But for the most part, if you're eating out all the time and you're overspending way too much money on food and you really can't afford it because you're broke, you should not actually be doing it, okay? Food is one of those things that you don't want to just eat food for eating food. I get it. You actually want to enjoy what you actually eat and the experience, but enjoy the experience, learning how to cook great meals at home and meal prepping and taking that great food to your workplace. And by the way, if you're having to throw out food, then you're also overspending money on food because that means you're buying things you actually don't need. I used to buy, for example, a bunch of vegetables. They go bad. I used to buy like a bunch of rice in quantities. It kind of would get like these little worms in it. And I'll be like, all right, it's bad. Buy a bunch of eggs and then you find out, oh my gosh, no. You know, so just make sure what you buy is what you need. And don't be afraid to make, for example, weekly grocery runs because that way you actually don't have your things go bad. All right, keep those things in mind. Now, number three, guys, is going to be, I fell for this one, is going to be car batteries. All right. So for the most part, I thought when you go, for example, into Advanced Auto Parts or one of these places and they offer you, for example, their hard battery. I forgot what the brand is. Like maybe it's a good thing I don't remember the brand because I'll probably get sued. But like they offer you like this crazy battery for like 200, $250, like you're driving a BMW that you need lithium batteries. Like, no, for the most part, you're paying way too much money for a battery. If you're spending $200, $250 on this battery, no, you can actually buy a battery for $70. Now, I know they say, hey, but this one has a warranty, and this one is made by a better brand or whatever, right? Mechanics, a lot of them, some of them can be, for example, very scammy. They will basically scan your battery, see if it's good, and they'll put in different voltages and say, hey, it's not good, but it's actually a good battery. So keep those things in mind. There are honest mechanics out there. You just got to find them. But when you don't know about something at all, and someone does, and they can play you and make money, it usually happens, and you got to be very careful with that. So learn some mechanics. Every guy should kind of know that. And I'm telling that to myself because I don't know any, but I need to learn it. All right. So a car battery can cost like $70. Cheap. And it usually comes with 3-year warranty. Nice. So let's say this battery goes out, for example, every year, which it won't because it has warranty, right? But you have a year, $70. Another year, $70, $140. Another year, that's $210. You have a new battery every year and you're not still spending anywhere near $250 on a battery. So get yourself a $70 battery. Find out what your car needs and get it that for the cheapest price. You don't need this expensive stuff thinking it's going to make your car better. Like it isn't, okay? Now, number 3, guys, well, number 4, because I already said number 3 like just now. Number 4, guys, is going to be memberships, okay? So I don't have Netflix. That's weird, I know. I just don't have it anymore. I don't have Amazon Prime because I don't need it, right? So Amazon Prime is like $15 a month or $140 a year. I buy things on Amazon all the time, but when I buy something, I spend $35 or more because I'm buying things I basically need, and I kind of just get free shipping, and I wait a week. You know, back in the day, it used to be like you waiting 2-3 weeks for your package, but now it's like a week. Like, it's not really a big deal. So if you find yourself, check your phone, check the apps on your phone, check everything, and see where you have subscriptions, and ask yourself, do I need this? And if you actually don't need it, uninstall it. For the most part, if you have Netflix, do you need Netflix? You probably don't. You're wasting too much time on it. So probably stop paying it. And that's all money that could be redirected for paying debts, saving for emergencies, or investing, all right? So number 5 is going to be unlimited internet, calls, and texts. Now, I learned this a long time ago. I don't know when it got into my brain that I needed an unlimited plan from T-Mobile and pay $70 a month. I just didn't know when that idea came into play, but it was there. It's been imprinted. It's been marketed to me, and I basically just fell for it all the way through. So, number 1, okay, what you want to do is look up Mint Mobile. All right, I'm not sponsored by them, but they're basically like one of the best ones out there. And guess what? T-Mobile actually owns them. And they actually have an unlimited plan. It's a $30 plan. You get 40 gigs of high-speed data, like 4G and 5G. And then after that, you actually get 3G unlimited. But the texts are unlimited. The calls are unlimited. Like, no one calls each other anymore. And text, you WhatsApp yourself and you DM people. Like, you don't need unlimited anything, okay? And most of the time, you're on Wi-Fi. So here's a quick trick that I also do. If you go into your settings on your iPhone and you go in, for example, where it says cellular, click cellular. And when you click cellular, I want to show you my phone number, and you scroll down, it shows you exactly how much data you're using per month. So far this month, I'm using like 3.4 gigs. I have a 12 gig plan here in the Dominican Republic, and it's more than enough at the time. But for the most part, you don't need unlimited from a big company. You basically just need unlimited from like a third-party company like Mint Mobile, and you get unlimited data, and you don't pay so much money. $30 versus $70, that's $40 in savings. You can put that towards your investing and make more money in the future. Thank me later. Now, where are we? Number 6 is going to be phone app subscriptions you forgot about. I kind of already included this, but I want to put it back here. I don't know how many trials I signed up for in the past, and then I come to find out I have a charge on my account. So you want to go to your app store subscriptions and see exactly if you have any ones that you actually have not seen, if you have any trials that are about to expire, and you want to cancel all of this stuff, okay? So if you have any things on your phone that you basically don't need, you sign up for a trial, and now you kind of like forgot about it, go cancel it before it is too late. Now, number 7, guys, people hate me when I say this, but it's kind of true, but pets, you have 3 options here. Number 1, if you actually need a pet, and you can afford a pet, adopt one. It's cheaper and it's a lot better. You don't need some fancy breed of dog and you spend like $800, $1,000 on it. You don't need it, okay? I just can't justify it. Now, number two, and by the way, the cool thing is here in Dominican Republic, you can spend like $200 and you can get basically like a cool dog or whatever. That's pretty cool. It's not that much money, but for the most part, adopting is more than fine. Number two, you have people that have pets and they can't afford pets, but they want to keep the pet because they feel guilty about it. In reality, there are a lot of people out there that are willing to adopt pets, and in reality, I don't see the sense in you basically not being able to afford to invest, but you're being able to afford to maintain a pet for like $100 or $200 every single month and buying everything you basically need for this pet. Probably better off just putting this pet up for adoption or giving it away to somebody that actually needs it and can actually afford it. Now, number three is, if you don't agree with me on that and you actually want to keep your dog, although you cannot keep it in your little apartment, the answer is you can go ahead and learn DIY tactics. Basically saying, for example, like I remember when I had two cats, and by the way, I gifted my cats to my mom because, hey, my mom, she wanted the cats to give it to her. But when I had my cats, I had to get, for example, sand. The sand was expensive. I had to get, for example, like little toys or whatever and all this other stuff. For the most part, and like the cat food, that's expensive too. So I started to get, for example, generic cat food. On top of that, I started to basically, there was actually a video on how you can actually like get it, for example, like the sand for actually poop on it, but you can actually do it with like cardboard and like another like material, and it costs like a fraction of that price. So there are ways to save money on pets if you're actually gonna have a pet. And don't forget, okay, for some reason people don't get this, okay, but an animal is an animal. It's not a human, okay? So the needs you think this animal has, it does not have it. Like this cat, this dog, it wants to eat and it wants to be taken care of, but for the most part, it doesn't need some glorified dog food. It doesn't need all this other stuff, okay? So keep that in mind. If you're gonna keep a cat, by the way, or a pet, and you're gonna be attached to it, make sure you get a decent insurance for it potentially. This way, when it gets sick, and it will at some point, you can save some money on that too, okay? Now, number 8 is going to be car insurance. Shop around for this stuff. Most people just basically go ahead and renew their car insurance all the time. No, look around for better rates and look at your car insurance to see exactly, hey, what can I take off this thing to actually save money on these premiums? Ask these questions because some of them actually overlap with your health insurance and you maybe don't need them. So keep those things in mind. But if you can save basically like $100 on your car insurance, that's $100 you don't have to spend anymore. Always think that, okay? There are a lot of things out there you say, it's not really worth it. Like, I'm just going to save $100 or $50. Like, that's money that gets to go in your pocket and not in their pocket. And that's money for your future, for your investing, and everything else. Now, number 9 is going to be coffee. Can you believe the average person spends like $100 on coffee every single month? That's a lot of money, right? So I'm not here to say don't drink coffee. I like coffee myself. But for the most part, the money you spend on coffee per month, in 3 months, that's like $300. For $300, you can buy, for example, an espresso machine. You can buy fancy coffee. You can make your own coffee and save a bunch of money per month. So keep those things in mind. Find different ways to get to enjoy with the things you actually enjoy without spending so much money on it. Remember, when you have a business selling you something, they have employees, they want to make profits, they want to get you addicted to it. So kind of like erase that third party, middleman, and just make the things you actually like and enjoy at home, and this way you actually get to save a bunch of money. Plus, you can actually just buy some recyclable coffee cups that actually look pretty, and you basically also get to go to work with it and save money too, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, number 10, by the way, I did Starbucks for like a week or two, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to afford this, okay? It's just way too much money. It's ridiculous. Now, number 10 is going to be a new car. This would not be a TommyBryson video if I did not mention this big money waster, okay? So here's a crazy example. Mercedes, I think it's a CL class, 550S. It's almost like $250,000 car when it came out in 2016. Well, that version, because it was around for longer than that. But in 2016, it was basically almost like $250,000 car. That basically means like a little bit under like $250,000. That's a lot of money for a car, right? You would agree, right? But you're actually able to buy this car today in 2023 or 2024. Whenever you're watching this video, okay, because of depreciation, you're able to buy this car for like $30,000 to $35,000, less than 100,000 miles, okay? So again, there are cars out there they're used. You're able to buy them for a massive discount for like half or a fraction of what they were worth originally. So you buy those cars instead of being in like a dummy and paying retail for these things. Okay, remember, okay, cars are designed to run for a long time. They're not designed to run for 5 years because your loan ends in 5 years and you need a new car. No, you don't need to do that. Okay, cars can last 10 years. 15 years, 20 years, even 30 years if you take good care of it, okay? So be open to that. So I think my next car is going to be a nice car, but it's going to be maybe like a 2016, 2018, 2017 car. And I'm going to ride that sucker for like 10 years until the wheels fall off, all right? I'm going to enjoy the car, take care of it, of course, but a car can go for like 250,000 miles, 300,000 miles. So like, why are you selling it, getting rid of it, getting another car loan so fast, all right? Don't do that. And by the way, I always recommend you pay cash for your cars. That's it, guys. 10 ways to save a bunch of money on things you're probably spending money on right now and you don't need to spend that much money on right now. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified, and comment down below 550 so I know you made it all the way to the end of this video. I always want to use different words to know you actually made it to the end because people actually just comment the same thing, be like, ah, he didn't think I made it. No, 550. So this way I know you made it. Okay, up here is another video. Over here's my face. Click and subscribe, and as always, long-term team officially out. Peace.